Hi guys! So today I'm doing my first ever book tag, and that is the Playing with Your Emotions book tag, which was actually created by Rowling over at Padfoot from 07. I'll link her in the description below. So yeah, sorry that this is late. I'm probably the last person to actually do this tag because I know it's been going on for ages and no one's actually tagged me, but it looks like fun, so I thought I'd do it. So the first emotion is happy, and the books that make me happy are the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I love Harry Potter. It just, the whole world and the characters and the adventures that they get up to just makes me so happy. And the end of the series, I cried like tears of joy because I just love the series. It just always puts a smile on my face. The next emotion is sad, and the book that makes me sad, there are several books, but the book that makes me the most sad is probably Sarah's Key, because it's the whole situation and the fact that it's an actual situation that happened in like real history, but hardly anyone's heard of it. It's not taught in schools or anything, and it's just being forgotten by like society. And I think it's that in itself is sad because everyone hears about what happened in Germany and stuff, but no one has heard about what happened in France at that time. And it's just so sad that it's just being forgotten. And also the story in itself with Sarah, who's only a little girl and she has to go through all of that. It's it's shocking and it's so sad. And I put it down and I cried for about half an hour because I just thought it was one of the saddest books I'd ever read in my life. The next emotion is angry, and not many books actually make me angry, but there's one that kind of sticks out in my mind, and that's Gone by Michael Grant, because it's a good book, don't get me wrong, but the ending really made me a bit annoyed, and I don't want to say why, because otherwise I'll give away the ending, and if people haven't read it, then I don't want to spoil it for them. But it's just the way it ended and the way it was written. It just seemed a bit of a cop out to me. I I don't know, but it really did. It's hard. I don't know. It just got me a bit annoyed, and I liked the book, and then well, I still like the book, but it's just the ending was a bit like, oh, so you're just gonna end it like that, and um, I don't know. I mean, I want to read the rest of the series, but like I said, I really enjoyed the book, but it was just the ending that was a bit of a letdown, I thought. So that kind of got me annoyed. The next emotion is nostalgic, and the books that make me nostalgic is the series of unfortunate events series, because I remember growing up with those books and Harry Potter, but I've used Harry Potter for happy, so I'm using this. And I remember buying the first book, and I got the seventh book first, and then I read it, and I thought, this is really good, but it doesn't make much sense. And then I realised there were other books before. And I remember just talking about it with my friends in primary school, and we had like a couple of us were like obsessed with series of unfortunate events, and I just grew up with all 13 of those books, and I still read them over and over again, and I just love them. The next emotion is scared, and not many books make me scared, but if I would have to pick one, I'd say the book that made me scared would probably be The Scorch Trials by James Dashner, because it I kind of feared for the characters more than the actual storyline. Like when sorry, I'm moving myself a bit. Like when they're running away from the flare people and all like little bits like that. But it really made me worry for the characters, and I ended up reading it like this because I kind of didn't want to read on, but did at the same time because I wanted to find out what happened. And it was a bit freaky, but I loved it still, and yeah, it was kind of freaky. So the next emotion is surprise, and this was an easy choice. The book that made me surprised the most was The Hunger Games, because I remember getting that book and I thought I was going to absolutely hate it. I remember looking at it and going, why am I going to read this? I'm going to hate it. And it's one of my favourite book series now. So it shows don't judge a book by its cover, because I kind of did. I read it anyway, but that book really surprised me by how much I love it, and I love it so much. And to go from thinking I'd absolutely hate it to absolutely loving it, it's a big jump, so that surprised me the most. The next emotion is disappointed, and for me that would be the book The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. I know that's a long title, but that's what it is, by Jonas Jonasson, because loads of critics went on to say that it was really funny, and I don't know if it's just my sense of humour, but I didn't find it that funny. I laughed a couple of times, but I've read funnier books, and I just didn't think it was that funny for me. And I think it would have been a lot better if I did find it funny, because I can see why people would find it funny, but it's just not my sort of humour, so I was a bit disappointed. And it looked so good and so different to what I've been reading before, and it was different, but I just didn't really like it, so that was a bit of a disappointment to me. The next emotion is distress, and for me that would be The Green Mile, probably, by Stephen King, because some of the descriptions in the book are really graphic and will probably haunt me for the rest of my life. They really are, and it I've had to put the book down a couple of times and just kind of recover, because I was a bit like, oh my god, that is horrible. It was slightly distressing, but an amazing book. I would recommend you read it because it's so good, but it was quite distressing, so you know, need to take caution. And yeah, I'm not going to get over that book in a hurry. And the final emotion is confused. And this was a hard choice for me, but I'd say probably The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger is the book that confused me the most, because it's a great book. I love it. I love the romance and everything in it. But because Henry is jumping backwards and forwards in time so often, you kind of get confused about what has happened in Claire's life at that time and what hasn't happened, and then all the timelines get mixed up, and it's really hard to figure out kind of what's going on. And for me, that kind of got me a bit confused, but I think I need to read it several times for me to fully understand like how the timelines work. So that was the Playing with Your Emotions tag. I tag everyone and anyone who hasn't done it yet. I hope you liked that video. I might go and have a drink now because I'm kind of thirsty and I see chocolate. I want chocolate, so I'm gonna go and eat loads of chocolate. And yeah, I've just got Toy Story on at the moment. So that's pretty much what's going on with me. Hope you're all well, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!